Hi again, everyone. Gary Digit Williams here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us for our weekly podcast. And we have a lot coming up in the next couple of weeks. Of course, this is the awesome April of Beltway Boxing. So we start that off this Friday. We'll talk about that and give you some updates as well. And we have some great news, big news over the past weekend. Had a lot of action this past weekend, so we're going to talk about that and a lot more coming up here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network, which, of course, you can hear on Spreaker.com, Stitcher.com, TuneIn.com, and iHeartRadio.com, as well as on YouTube. And if you follow me on Twitter at Digital25, you can get my podcast on Twitter as well. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network, brought to you by Real-Time Pain Relief, from boxers to ballerinas. For shoulder pain and muscle strain and everything in between, Boxing Along the Beltway recommends Real-Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. You go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real-Time Pain Relief, you get a free $10 tube of Real-Time Pain Relief. Rub it on, the pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com, we have great jewelry and great weight loss tips on her site. Weight loss without dieting, eating real food along the way at Deborah, Debra Spears.com. Don't forget, you can go to boxonbeltway.blogspot.com to go to the links on Best Buy and Amazon, also there, and you can go ahead and purchase your items through those links on boxonbeltway.blogspot.com. Now, I'd like to talk about this weekend. We actually had 5 Beltway boxers over the past 3 days last week in action. Last week we talked about the wins for Juan Rodriguez. The loss for Juan Rodriguez, and the win for Kobe Madison. Madison looked good in his victory. But on Saturday we had 3 Beltway boxers in action. First of all, finally the return of Dusty Hernandez Harrison, the man from Southeast Washington, D.C. Now, his return to boxing, that didn't take very long, because he fought at the Grand Theater in Albany, Indiana, took on the veteran Bruce the Rage Rumboltz of Sterling, Illinois. Harrison knocked out Rumboltz in 1 minute and 46 seconds. He was never threatened in the contest, and I had a chance to watch it. Somebody had it online, so I had a chance to watch it. He ended the bout with a left hook to the body, followed by a nice left hook to the head. That dropped Rumboltz. He tried to get up, but then he sank back to one knee. The bout was stopped. Once again, the time of the knockout was 1 minute, 46 seconds. Now, Harrison, who, of course, started his career as a welterweight, fought this bout at 170 pounds. So he's got some work to do, and according to his father and, of course, to some of the pictures he has posted on Facebook, he's doing that work. And hopefully, by the time he's scheduled to appear at Rosecroft Raceway on Saturday, April 20th, he'll be in good shape. At least he's probably fighting as a middleweight officially. So Harrison's now 31-0-1, 17 KOs. Bruce Rumboltz falls to 22-36-2, 15 KOs. And once again, he's scheduled to be on that KBW Promotions card on Saturday, April 20th at Rosecroft Raceway over in Fort Washington, Maryland. We have some updates on that. We'll give you in just a little bit here today. Also victorious is a guy that we've kind of been wavering on whether or not we want to talk about him. And the reason being is that he's originally from Baltimore, Maryland, but his hometown is listed as New London, Connecticut. But apparently he is back with his original trainers here in Baltimore at the Upton Gym, Kenny Ellis and Calvin Ford. So we're going to call him a Baltimore heavyweight. And he seems to be back in action. He's remaining undefeated. His name is Cassius Cheney. And he scored a first-round knockout over Christian Bravo Mariscal of Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. That took place this past Saturday at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The knockout came at 2:16 of the first round. And Cheney's undefeated, as we said, 15-0 now, 9 KOs. He's never fought in the Beltway. He's never fought in the Beltway area. So it'll be good. Hope we get a chance to see him sometime in the Beltway, but he's never fought there, and he's now, as we said, 15-0, 9 KOs. Mariscal falls to 12-3, 5 KOs. That's a pretty good win for Cheney against a guy who's got a pretty good record. So, continue best wishes to Cassius Cheney out of Baltimore. Now, the one loss, other than Juan Rodriguez's loss early in the weekend, early in the week, I should say, came in the Powell Center in Hockinson, Delaware, and that is where Kingsville, Maryland heavyweight Brian Bam Bam Haneschlager, he had a rough time in his pro debut. He only lasted 49 seconds in his bout against the debuting Jerome Moore's of Derby, Pennsylvania. I had my alarm on, my apologies. And of Derby, Pennsylvania. And again, it took place at the Powell Center, Hockinson, Delaware. Now, despite having a considerable weight advantage, Haneschlager came in like about 230, and Morris came in like only about 206. Morris had the power in the contest. Now, according to my good buddy J.R. Jowett, who reports for SecondsOut.com, Morris landed an overhand right that wobbled Haneschlager and forced him to hang on to the ropes and just couldn't do anything. He didn't fall down, but he was in bad shape. And referee Bill Clancy, the legendary Bill Clancy, who, congratulations to him, he's getting inducted into the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. And I believe it's in New York. So congratulations to Bill Clancy. He's refereed here a number of times in the Beltway over the years. And Bill Clancy immediately stopped the contest. So Haneschlager falls in his pro debut. So that's the results from this past week. And as we start the awesome April of Beltway boxing, we started in a pretty big way. And that's going to be on Friday night, April the 5th. And that'll feature Baltimore, Maryland super featherweight and the former Beltway boxing co-rookie of the year, Jahmal Dyer. And he'll meet the bright lights of national television for the first time in his young pro career, when he takes on undefeated Andres Cortez of Las Vegas, Nevada. That'll be at the Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall in Las Vegas. And that'll be a bout that'll open a Showbox telecast on Showtime. So that's big thing for him. Dyer's 9-1, 5 KOs, competing in an 8-rounder for the first time after coming off a 6-round unanimous decision win over previously undefeated Carlos Dixon on March 2nd in Columbus, Ohio. This will be Dyer's third bout in 3 months. Cortez is 10-0, 6 KOs. He last fought, as we said, on January 17th. He stopped Eder Amado Fajardo in the third round of the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. So this will be interesting because, again, Dyer has been very, very consistent in his bouts for the most part. And again, he's coming off a win over an undefeated fighter. This is the second time in a row now he's facing an undefeated fighter. He beat the last one he had. So this could be interesting. No question about that. It'll be a big boost for Dyer should he win this one. It'll be interesting to see. Now, the telecast on Friday, April 5th begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And that'll be the first bout on this telecast. So it should be interesting. Jahmal Dyer taking on Andres Cortez. That'll be on Friday night, April the 5th, from Sam's Town Hotel and Gambling Hall in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Jahmal Dyer will be the first bout on Showtime. So best wishes to Jahmal Dyer. Now, before we get to the Golden Gloves, we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming card on Saturday, April 20th at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. Yours truly will be the ring announcer for that card. And also, don't forget, you can buy your tickets on boxlinebeltway.blogspot.com. There's a link in the other boxing link section that says buying April 20th Rumble at Rosecroft tickets. So if you click on that link, you can buy your tickets straight from that link. Now, there's a couple of updates to this card. First of all, as we said, Dusty Harrison scheduled to headline the card, and we gave an opponent for him last week when we talked about it, but that opponent has fallen through. So there's no opponent yet for Dusty. He's still looking for an opponent. Now, another person who was looking for an opponent on this card was David Day Grayton, the welterweight out of Washington, D.C., 15-3, 1 draw with 11 KOs. He's got an opponent, and this one could be an interesting opponent. His name is Damian Daniel Papi Fernandez. He is from Buenos Aires, Argentina. His record 11-1 with 5 KOs. Now, he's never fought in the United States. All of his bouts have been in Argentina. However, the last 3 bouts that Fernandez has fought have been against guys with well over 500 records. He faced Diego Nieta in Buenos Aires on May 12th and won an 8-round unanimous decision. Then he faced Diego Ramirez on October 26th, and he won a 10-round unanimous decision. And then his last bout was against Juan Jose Balmaceda. He fought him on February 8th and scored a 7th-round knockout. So that should be interesting. He's been 10 rounds before. This bout, I believe, is scheduled for 8 rounds. And we shall see. It should be interesting. And David Grayton needs a win badly. He has lost his last two. He lost to Miguel Cruz back in November 2017 in St. Petersburg, Florida by 10-round unanimous decision. And then he lost on September 14th at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Terrell Williams by 10-round unanimous decision. Both those guys were undefeated. So he's faced tough competition as well. This should be a good one. No question about that. David Grayton taking on Daniel Hernandez on the April 20th Rumble at Rosecroft card, the KBW card at Rosecroft Raceway. Also, been a slight change. Jonathan Burrs was scheduled to be on the card, take on Javon John. That bout, I should say Burrs in that bout has been scrapped. Burrs is no longer on the card. He'll be replaced by Justin Sykes, the older brother of Ashton Sykes. He is out of Hanover, Maryland, and he lost his pro debut by 4-round unanimous decision to Jonathan Burrs. Interesting. And so he'll replace Jonathan Burrs on his card against Javon John. Javon John is 3-7-1, and coming off a 4-round unanimous decision loss to Anthony Miller on December 1st in Hockinson, Delaware. And Justin Sykes, as we said, coming off that 4-round unanimous decision loss to Jonathan Burrs. So that's the change on that card, on that bout. Justin Sykes now taking on Javon John in place of placing Jonathan Burrs. So once again, that is Saturday, April 20th. That's the pro show at the Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. As we said last week, Rosecroft Raceway will have some sort of boxing, even amateur, professional, every Saturday this month. So that should be very interesting as well. We haven't had any updates on the April 27th pro show at Tyson's Playground in Vienna, Virginia. That's the TAC promotions card. As soon as we get that for you, we'll bring those updates up to you as soon as we possibly can. So that's Saturday, April 27th at Tyson's Playground in Vienna, Virginia. One thing they've added a couple of female boxes on this card. So I have to look at it again, and I'll give you more of a detail sometime next week. Now, let's turn our attention to Saturday, April the 6th. And that'll be the Washington Golden Glove Championship Finals held at Rosecroft. If you cannot be there, I hope you can be there because this is going to be a great card. This will be a really good bout sheet if everything holds together. You can join us on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network. Juan Marshall and I will have the call at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time for the 7:30 p.m. start at Rosecroft Raceway. Now, a couple things we want to talk about and kind of highlight for you for this situation here. For the novice and open division, these are boxes, of course, from Maryland, D.C., and Delaware. Now, a couple of items to look out for, and hopefully they will come through here. The 123-pound championship will match Dwayne Holmes Jr. out of Sugar Ray Leonard Gym. He won this event last year. Defeated Chris Glenn of Hagerstown Boxing last year. So he's looking for a second straight Washington Golden Glove Championship. He's got a tough one this time against, not that he didn't have a tough last time, but he definitely has one this time. Takes on Shaquille Daly of Diamonds in the Rough. Diamonds in the Rough gym in District Heights, Maryland, at 123 pounds. Now, Shaquille Daly is the son of one of the true fan favorites of the Beltway back in the 90s, Special K, Kelvin Daly, who's a trainer over at Diamonds in the Rough. And Diamonds in the Rough actually has a good opportunity to win a number of bouts in the open division. They have no less than three boxers that will be competing. One has already won, Deja Lewis out of Diamonds in the Rough, the female 141-pound. She has walked over as a 2019 champion, so she's already in the championship. But they have three other boxers scheduled to be in the championships coming up on Saturday. As you said, Shaquille Daly taking on Dwayne Holmes Jr. That should be a great bout. Also, Demetrius Lewis at 114 pounds. He will take on Cameron Rick Holmes out of Dream Team Boxing Gym in Clinton, Maryland. So, excuse me, that should be interesting as well. Also, I kind of joked with the Avalar brothers. So you can't have a Golden Glove Championship final without an Avalar in it. And last year, all three of them, Tommy, Brian, and Wilfredo, were all in the Golden Glove Championships last year, and all three of them won last year. Well, this year a little different. Only Tommy made it this year. Brian was eliminated early, and Wilfredo lost in the semifinals. But Tommy Aguilar will be in the championship at 132 pounds. He'll take on Isaiah Harris of the Dog Pound Gym of Delaware. So Tommy's actually looking for his third straight Washington Golden Gloves championships at 132 pounds. Now, the bout that may be the bout of the night will be at 141 pounds when Malik Warren of Upton Boxing Gym in Baltimore takes on Jalen Jones of Limelight Gym in D.C. Now, Jalen Jones last year won the novice champion. No, he lost in last year's event. He lost last year to Wilfredo Aguilar. He lost the 141 pound championship to Wilfredo Aguilar. So this could be an interesting situation. Now, Malik Warren, they're saying that he is the next one at Upton. I mean, you're looking at Gervonta Davis as a world champion. Malik Hawkins is positioning himself to be into the world championship hunt eventually. You got Cassius Cheney, as we said, the heavyweight, but everybody's saying that Malik Warren out of Catonsville, Maryland, may be the next one as far as the Upton Boxing Gym. We'll see when he takes on Jalen Jones at 141 pounds. Another one of the Diamonds in the Rough boxers that are in the action on Saturday will be Deontay Washington out of Diamonds in the Rough. He takes on Deshaun Chase of Baltimore Boxing. That'll be at 152 pounds. That should be interesting as well. 165 pounds, Jeff Bozier Jr. at Upton. He'll take on Johannes Resene of Sugar Leonard Gym. At 178 pounds, one of the guys who's really, really fought well, primarily in the novice up until this year. This is his first year in the open division. He's out of Cameroon originally. He's fighting now at the Champions Gym in Rockville, Maryland. He was at Urban Boxing in Columbia last year. His name is Joel Chachunji. And he'll take on Nasheed Smith out of the Headbangers Gym of D.C. That should be a good one as well. The situation with Chachunji last year, or not last year, I'm talking about Chachunji in general, is that should he make it all the way through the regionals and win the be part of the regional team, I'm wondering if the fact that he's from Cameroon, and whether or not he's an American citizen, I don't know. But we had a situation a few years ago with Shingizkan Tazabai, who was originally from Kazakhstan, and he won the regional championship, but because he was not a naturalized American citizen, he could not compete in the National Golden Gloves. And I'm wondering if the same fate may befall Chachunji if he gets all the way through the regionals and goes to the national scheduled to go to the national tournament. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that should be a good one at 178 pounds. At 201 pounds is Shaka Williams out of Nomis Boxing Gym, and he will battle Esri Turner of the Headbangers. Now, Shaka Williams last year lost the 201 pound championship to Thomas T.J. Mottinger of the representing the Main Street Gym of Salisbury, Maryland. So that should be interesting as well. Shaka Williams looks to win that. And now the 201 pound plus championship, Malik Titus of Time to Grind. Basically, he has totally wiped out that division. He has been the champion a number of times. I believe it's 5 straight years that Malik Titus has been the Washington Golden Glove champion, and well as the regional champion in that weight class. So he has walked over, and he keeps telling me, I've talked to him, he keeps telling me that he will be a pro sometime by the end of this year. So we'll see about that. So Malik Titus has already walked over at 201 plus pounds. Now, as far as the novice is concerned, the big one there, 141 pounds, Trayvon Wells out of Knowledge Boxing in I believe it was in Calvert County, Maryland. He'll take on his teammate, Devontae Alexander from Novice Boxing. And last year, Trayvon Wells won he lost the 141 pound championship to Dominic Fantuazo of Champions Gym. Trayvon Wells was coming out of the Dream Team that last year, but now he's out of Knowledge Boxing Gyms. He's looking to it's a close one too, 3-2 score there, and looking for looking for him to see if he can bounce back this year against his own teammate, Devontae Alexander. Also coming up as well, Hafiz Khan, he's already walked over 108 pounds. Emmanuel Burrows out of Old School Gym takes on Rashawn Jones of Sugar Leonard Gym. Old School Gym is at Rosecroft Raceway. DeMarco Kennedy of Champions takes on Anthony Kareem of Cherry Lane Boxing in Baltimore. Saquon Epps from Noma's Youth Network. He's looked very good at 132 pounds. Taking on another good boxer, Alante Kemp of Limelight. 152 pounds, Eric Middleton out of Noma's. He'll battle Stephon Jordan out of Champions Gym. 165 pounds, Stephon Burden of American Muay Thai. And I have to find out where that gym is. I don't really know where that gym is. He'll take on Michael Hines of number 11 Overcomers. 178 pounds, Walter Sanders of the Sweet Science Gym. He is out of Maryland, taking on Sunday Akeem of Laurel Boxing. And Damon Pringle at 201 pounds he's out of Noma's, takes on Tyrone Russ of Woodland Tigers of DC. And 201 plus pounds, Ricardo Volkeen of Old School takes on Steven Sparks of Madhouse Boxing out of Delaware as well. So that should be interesting. Should be a great night. If everything comes to fruition, all the bouts take place, all the boxers make weight. Should be a very good night coming up on Saturday, April the 6th. We'll be live from Rosecroft Raceway, Fort Washington, Maryland. If you can't join us, and again, we've had some great crowds at Rosecroft for these Golden Gloves. Hope that continues. Hope you'll be there in person. If not, join us here on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network on Saturday, April 6th. We're on the air at 7:25 p.m. Eastern Time for the 7:30 p.m. start. That will do it for another edition of Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network. Once again, we're brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief from boxers, ballerinas, and from shoulder pain and muscle strain. Boxing on Beltway recommends Real Time Pain Relief. Go to freepainoffer.com. Buy $10 worth of Real Time Pain Relief. You get a free $10 tube of Real Time Pain Relief. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com. She has great weight loss tips and great jewelry at Deborah. DEBRA Spears.com. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Thank you for joining me as always on Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network. And don't forget to join us on Saturday, April 6th for the Washington Golden Gloves Championship Finals. Till then, thanks for joining us. And always remember to keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening. Take care.